just give them more guidance on why. I remember one time they weren't doing the dishes right, and they just weren't putting the dishes in the dishwasher, and I'm going off on them because they're not putting the dishes in the dishwasher right. But guess what? I never taught them how to put the dishes in the dishwasher. That's on me. It's not common sense. So a lot of times we as parents, we think certain things should be common sense. You should know this. That was taught to us. You should know this. Common sense. I'm 3, right? So we have to teach them, then we follow up with, okay, why you ain't doing it right? Because I taught you X, Y, and Z. But if you haven't taught them, and you got to go back and look at yourself as a parent, why are they acting out? Why are they doing the things that they're doing? And I think another thing that Joe said that was so important is that we beating kids, and they may have mental deficiencies. And they get beat up because they can't sit still, because they don't have the attention span, because they have these behavioral issues that need more of a therapy rather than a beating. And we think we can resolve it by beating them. And it's so sad and it's so disheartening because kids are so innocent. They come here so innocent, and we fuck them up. We fuck children up by what we do to them, and it's sad.
And you're right. You can't expect these children to come here and know everything straight out of the womb. You have to understand that they have to be guided, and they also have to be guided with love. And this is something that we definitely have to understand. If we're going to take on the role of parenting, there comes big responsibilities with that. Big responsibilities. So I am going to ask you a question, Joe, before we go to break. Deanna says, we could actually ask our children what they think appropriate punishment should be and negotiate the terms. This is what lawyers do for us. Teach them. Do you agree or disagree?
That's not a bad idea. And that's not a bad idea. I'm always going to advocate for communication over everything. You know what I mean? Like Moya said, you can ask why. I think that's important. I think that's brilliant. You have to make children understand why what they're doing is wrong, why there are consequences for your actions. What are you doing this for? So yeah, negotiating the terms and trying to get a gauge on if they understand how what they did was inappropriate is a good lesson for them and for you.
Double learning. Because I believe that there are some things that we learn as well as we're parenting. Like, we don't just take everything that our kids, when we have kids. I was 16 when I had my child, and I knew how I was parented, and it was gentle. But then again, my mother was still parenting me at 16. So that cycle, I had to learn when it was time for me to get out on my own, to be the parent that I was. So I think we take that on, and we have to understand that these are life skills that we also learn along the way. So I see you shaking your head, Moya. So do you agree with me on that? Do you think that these life skills that we're doing with our children are also being learned at the same time we're parenting?
Oh my God, Lala. I felt like you hit the nail on the head, because the times that I get really angry at them, when I pause and I look, I said, whoa, this is what I'm doing. Like, obviously, in terms of not whatever little behavior they're doing as their child self, but as an adult, I see it. So you are so right. Like, I feel like if you really want personal development, you either start a business or become a parent.
Ooh, start a business or Constance, what you think about that? Start a business.
100%. 100. It definitely makes you understand, how the way of the world if you do that. So I think she's 100% right.
I agree. Well, listen, guys, we are going to take another short break, and then we've got something else to share with you. I think this is good information. You know what? I wish people were talking about this a little bit more when I was coming up. I mean, we saw things, but it's a conversation that needs to be had. Remember when we used to have like civics and all those things that we were taught in school? They didn't even talk about parenting other than, here's a baby that cries. See if you can make it stop. And if you can make it survive for 2 weeks, you pass the class, right? But we're going to take this short break, and we'll be right back.
Hey, it's Dr. Javette, brand your brilliance coach and monetization strategist.